Welcome to Tansson TV Plus. Of course, I'm Brandon.
And I'm Mom.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us. We always love doing this. And Mom, how are you doing today?
I am doing fine. How are you today, Brandon?
I'm doing well. Can you believe we have yet another show for the fall 2024 television season?
I know, they just keep coming.
Yeah, well, I think this is the last one for now, at least.
Yes, we think.
But yes, but if this is the last, I think it ends out with a bang. Mom, what show are we speaking about here today?
Children ruin everything.
Yes, and we are actually venturing out from just American television.
We are, this is a Canadian show that we're going to talk about.
Yes, and it is also airing in the United States on the CW. And Mom, I'm very excited to get into the season premiere of season 4.
Yes. All right. You ready, Brandon? I'll give you a little bit of synopsis.
Whenever you're ready.
All righty. We're going to talk about the first two episodes because they did air today with the first two coming together. And the first one, and they aired originally, of course, in Canada, and we've had a little delay here. And so for today, the episodes debuted on November the 29th of 24. And the first episode is called Respect, and the second episode is called Recognition. And so, in general, for the first episode, Felix is basically a preteen now and wants more freedom, and then he wants his own room. And so this episode kind of explores that a little bit, where he's kind of testing the waters. And then on another note, Dawn and Bo don't want to know the sex of their new baby. And so that's a whole storyline in itself. All right. And for the second episode, which is called Recognition, James receives a job offer, but he's not able to finish the one pre-employment assignment that's been assigned to him. And then on another note, Vivian gets pink eye. And so those are the two episodes in a nutshell.
Well, Mom, thank you so much for that.
You are welcome, Brandon.
Yes, and so to give a little bit of background, so both of us have seen this whole series up to this point all the way through.
Yes, we have. We have. And we have, or at least for myself, I'll speak, I have thoroughly enjoyed the series.
Yes, I absolutely have as well. We started watching it in summer 2023 in the midst of the practically almost no TV when it was airing first on the CW, and we have absolutely loved it.
Yes, it is entertaining, makes me laugh each time. It's written really well.
Yeah, and Mom, what did you think about the season 4 premiere with these 2 episodes that we have?
Actually, I thought the premiere was. I thought they were both really good. The first episode, of course, like I said, explores Felix becoming older, and so I thought that was very appropriate. I think it was when the baby was born, they had decided that Felix would share a room with his sister, and so now they're just showing that he's getting older and he needs his own room, and so that's basically where that came from. Then, of course, he's trying to be more independent, which they've got to try to stop some of it because he wanted to ride the bus by himself, and at the age that he is not quite appropriate at this time period, and he even mentioned that somewhere in the episode, that he didn't feel right doing that. And then as for the second portion of the episode with Dawn and Bo, I mean, that's just exploring, of course, where they left off last time with them saying that they were going to have a surrogate, and that and so now the surrogate is very pregnant, and they've decided they don't want to know what sex the child is going to be. And so she had a non-reveal gender party. So, but yeah, so I like that they kind of pick back up where they left off, and they're just proceeding.
Yeah, I mean, listen, and I think that it was just such a, speaking about just for the first episode at this point, I said that I think it was just such a perfect episode to come back on. It does show a little bit of change. I know that's usually what we come into for like these season premieres is that, we have to change something up, but I like that it was able to do that, but then also stay in character for everything.
Yeah, same here. And then they also didn't drop that James did lose his job at the end of the last season. And so they're exploring his options as he's trying to figure out what he's supposed to do, or what he should do, or what he thinks he may do. And so I have a feeling it'll be all season with him trying to figure it out. That's just my thought.
Yes, but even though he may be out of a job, his former boss Marla and his best friend Ennis, they apparently have jobs now.
Yep, they have jobs working for Bo, so which is interesting in itself.
But yeah, I believe they explored a little bit, at the season finale last season. But it's nevertheless still hilarious to think about it, considering that not that James isn't per se like Bo, but more so that he doesn't always they don't share the same thoughts about things, and so the fact that his best friend and his former boss are now working for his brother-in-law.
Yeah, yeah, it's just an interesting dynamic. And then even Bo kind of brought up that he could work for him, but then he said, "Oh, but not to pay you." He just kind of said, "Yeah, just someone I can speak to."
But yes, although I love that, going into the second episode as well, that I like how we're able to see Ennis in the background trying to figure things out now that he actually has to take some responsibility and accountability with his job.
Yes, he is reaching out to James to try to get some advice.
But yes, although I thought it was hilarious when we found out that he was calling James for advice in the middle of the meeting that he was giving.
Yeah, that was funny. It was funny.
But yes, but going into the second episode, what were your thoughts overall in regards to is I'm trying to figure out the car situation and of course Pink Eye and everything else?
Well, it's kind of like I mentioned before. Since they're discussing the job perspective from the job perspective, we are showing that James is exploring his options, and that also the job market has changed a little bit because they asked him to use an app, and he didn't know what that app was, and he thought he could download it. Not to say that he didn't, but then his son needed his computer, and so at the end, he was not able to do the one thing that his new boss has asked him to do in 24 hours. So therefore, he didn't get the job.
But yes, and so that certainly was interesting, and I like the whole thing with him having to James having to go down to the school and try to give it and his whole interactions there.
Yeah, and so the audience will know Vivian had pink eye, and so he had to pick up Vivian, and then he had to take his computer because his Felix needed it for his project that he was doing. And so, in the midst of all that, James was in the hallway, and one of the hall monitors saw him and gave him a few words of advice for just even being at the school. And so that was just kind of funny to watch.
But yes, and so overall, I mean, what were your thoughts? Like I said, going into this fourth season.
Um, I have positive thoughts because, like I said, we were hoping that it would be renewed again, and we were both very happy to see that it was renewed. And so now it'll be interesting to see how many episodes they let actually air or tape, and so that we can see them.
Yes, I definitely hope that it is a full season, and I'm very excited, like I said, to watch it every week. I know today's for the premiere that it was a 2 episode premiere. I'm not sure if they're going to be doing that every week here in the United States, or if that's just for today. But I'm curious to see how that will go.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do decide to do next week.
Yeah, continuing from last season, we still have Donna and Bo's child Corey, who is still off in boarding school somewhere.
Yeah, that's interesting that he's off in boarding school.
Yes, and having done a little bit of research, I did find out that the actor that played their son Corey was actually the real life son of Dawn's actress.
Oh wow, that's good to know. I did not know that.
Yeah, in fact, we even have a little TV connection with her.
Oh, you do? What connection do we have, Brandon?
So just this week, just a few days ago, actually, the actress that plays Dawn, we just saw her on General Hospital.
Yeah, we did talk about that. She's playing a lawyer on General Hospital.
Yeah, and her real life husband's on there too.
Oh, yeah, you did look that up. For those who are wondering, that's Sidwell.
Yeah, so very interesting family dynamics. I wonder if they'll continue on with General Hospital, because I did like her character on there for the one episode that we saw.
Yeah, yeah. We know that she probably has one more episode to kind of wrap it up, but after that, it'll be interesting to see if she sticks around.
Yeah, so I should say 1 week, one out, one episode. But nevertheless, though, So going through what we generally speak about for these season premieres. So, what are your thoughts about going into season 4? Like, any expectations for what's going to happen this season?
No, I just think, kind of like I mentioned, it looks like they have three things going on. They've got maturing children, they've got James looking for a job, and then they've got the baby going on with Bo and Dawn.
Yeah, so definitely, quite a lot. And so I'm curious to see, like I said, how the whole job thing will go. And I'm curious, since they're still mentioning the previous job at Garrow's, I'm curious as to if that will, play back around. Maybe the company, will, they'll be able to have their own company again by the end of the season. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yep, we'll have to wait and see.
Well, yeah, well, Mom, I always love doing this with you.
I love doing it with you also, Brandon. And for everyone who's watching, thank you so much for watching today.
Yes, definitely. And be sure to watch it with us. Of course, like I said, it airs on the CW here in the United States and CTV in Canada.
Yep, yep. Um, Take a look. It's a great show.
But yes, well, this wraps us up for today's TV discussion.
Yes, everybody, have a great day.
And we'll see you next time.
All right, bye bye, everybody.